Listen up, all fight fans and fitness junkies. You've been listening to me talk about Jocko Fuel for a while now, and if you've been waiting, the wait is over. This August, you can score a massive 30% off on all of Jocko Fuel's top-tier supplements. That's right, 30% off. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all of the good stuff and none of the bad. We're talking no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. And guys, I really want you to try some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. This deal is only going to be available for the month of August. So use code Chael30 or go to JockoFuel.com. Don't wait. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Guys, click on the link below to make it happen. How rich is Jon Jones? I've always wondered that, and I know that you guys give it some thought too, right? I mean, like when Jon's talking about retiring, as much as money is none of our business, and as uncomfortable as that can be to discuss, it's kind of relevant, isn't it? I don't believe Jon is going to retire after Stipe. Like, there's no part of me that believes that, but I also don't believe he's going to stick around with his dying urge to fight with Tom Aspinall or Pereira should he come up, or Francis or any other name. I think Jon is not done earning money. That's what I think. I think that is what will keep him involved, which is why I come to the conclusion that we don't have any concern about a retirement after Stipe. And by the way, I also maintain for you it wouldn't matter the outcome of that match. Like a lot of times we go, hey, if they get a win here, they're probably going to retire. Well, if he gets beat, he's probably going to retire. Like, no, I do not think that will affect that decision in the least. Now, the reason I bring it up, I know Jon was arguing with Daniel one time. Remember that video where they were arguing and one of them was going to spit in the face and the other one was going to kill him? Remember that video that surfaced? Somewhere within that, I remember Jon telling Daniel, I'm caked up. Caked up is an expression. It used to be used more back then. It just means money. I'm caked up. I got a bunch of money. And he said, I'm sitting on 10 mil. And that would have been a very, very big amount of money for an MMA fighter to have back then. I mean, to be sitting on 10 mil, you paid Uncle Sugar his 50%. You gave your manager 10, your trainer 10. I mean, I'm just saying, if you bring in $1 million in MMA in 1 year, you have about 330. And you're going to be a little bit better than that, but not much. That's just MMA math. So to be sitting on $10 million, you're talking about having brought in $30 million. It would have been incredible. Oh, by the way, when you brought it in, you either invested it properly or you made more than that, and this is what you're doing. It was just a really big statement. That's all I'm sharing with you. Like, these two are being very raw. These two are being very real with each other. When Jon Jones said, I'm caked up, I'm sitting on 10 mil, I think he had $10 million. I do. I think that. No, but it's only relevant because Jon has just bought a new house. Bought a new family mansion is the way this was worded, and it was beautiful. Beautiful spread. He's got kids. It's like a backyard that you and we would have dreamed of, that Jon would have dreamed of, swimming pool and privacy and, all right. And one of the most interesting things, and I like that game, by the way, like I like Cribs, that television show. I like getting in and seeing somebody's house, and then if the guy's got a level of celebrity on top of that, like, that's fun. So I'm looking and I'm checking out his new mansion, but one thing that I did notice about it is it was in Albuquerque. And whatever happened with that, by the way? I mean, that was Jon's home where he was training. Came in from Albany, New York. Spent a little time out at Iowa when he was going through college. Lands in Albuquerque. Which, not for nothing, is a bit of a surprise for the extracurricular fun that Jon likes to have. No problem with that. This is where the gym was. That was what kept him grounded, right? Thank goodness he was in Albuquerque. I'm just sharing with you. It's a little bit of a surprise. Guy could live anywhere. And when he went through something happened. He ends up being asked to not come back to the gym. which I imagine would sting very badly. And he spent some time at Henry's. I remember when he was going out to Arizona. And I remember he and Prohaska were going to meet there at Henry's, and they were even going to work out together, and just interesting stuff, right? Jon had left the weight class. Prohaska's coming up. What a great opportunity for Prohaska, who we did not know at that time was going to go and be king, to be able to work out with the former champ. It was just great. Just like everything was going very smooth. But then the more questions you asked, you find out, well, it was a week. It's been a week out there. And I just always wondered where Jon is training. That is my point. I know he lived in Albuquerque, so he's going to have to make things work. But once you sell your house and you go and buy a new house, and you could go anywhere, and your profession is fighting, and you're told that you can't come to the top gym in that area, which, by the way, is the one and only thing that brought him there. And I'm just curious, where is he training? And it was Coach Wink. Coach Wink is the one, it was called Jackson Wink. And Coach Wink is the one that came to the conclusion, got to go to another facility. And Coach Jackson had another facility, or was going over to the other facility. Like they were finding a way to make all of this work. And I'm just wondering, as time has gone by, did that get dropped? Because I never heard that it did. And by the way, the thing that pushed this over the scale, got Coach Wink to put an arm's distance between Jon ended up not being guilty on, by the way. Right? There was some media and there was some talk, and when that whole thing came out, there were some people that owed Jon an apology. Quite possibly he got that apology, and quite possibly he's back in the gym, but I haven't heard that. And Jon had a few guys around him, real tough guys that you would know, and he was getting workouts in. But to my understanding on that, there was a few tough guys, and they kind of bunched up and, hey, meet every day at 3. I don't know that there was a coach in a formal situation. I also don't know that there wasn't. I don't know a lot about it. I'm genuinely asking those questions. I would imagine if people were invited, anybody in the sport would get on a plane and head out there if they could go get private work with Jon Jones. I would imagine having those bodies would not be a problem, but at the same time, I haven't heard of them. In fact, the one guy that did go out there was Gordon Ryan. And we heard all about that. We got videos of it. We got stories of it. We got interviews. We got footage of them training, right? It was great. But I don't hear about it a lot. And I know it's happening. I know he's staying busy. I know he's active. But I will admit, when he bought this new beautiful home and he stayed in Albuquerque, that was a little bit of a okay, he's got something out there that he likes. He's able to get this done. And I'm snooping. I'm just purely snooping because I don't know how this story goes. Where? What is the official gym? And who is Jon's official head coach?